tackle to the 40, fights free! He's on his way! 25, 20, 15, 10, and he scores! Unbelievable!
How good was Barry Sanders actually? In this video, we'll talk about the different phases and experiences of famous footballer Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders is a former professional football player running back who played for the Detroit Lions in the National Football League (NFL) from 1989 to 1998. Sanders, despite being only 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing 203 pounds, established himself as one of the most elusive runners in NFL history by leading the league in running yards 4 times and in rushing touchdowns once. If you find NFL videos fascinating, press that subscribe button, hit the like button, and don't forget to share it with your friends. Early life. Sanders was born on July 16, 1968 in Wichita, Kansas. As the 7th of 11 children to his parents, his mother worked as a housekeeper of the family, while his father worked as a roofer and carpenter. Sanders and 2 of his brothers assisted their father as a roofer. When he was young, he had a reputation for being a foodie who could consume an entire loaf of bread in a single sitting. At Wichita North High School, he participated in football. Before this, he liked to play basketball. Sanders made his tailback debut in his sophomore season, while his younger brother Byron has done it earlier. Sanders was supposed to start at tailback his senior year, but Byron graduated and transferred to Northwestern University on a football scholarship. So, he was started at wingback, a position that is similar to wide receiver. His head coach thought he lacked contact courage, and that his little stature would be a disadvantage at the time. He participated in both football and basketball as a guard. In the 4th game of Sanders' senior year, the original player was suspended for disciplinary reasons. At this point, he took over as the starting running back. He received All-State recognition and was selected as an honorable mention All-American. He was considered to be a fantastic athlete, but due to his thin stature, only 4 universities offered him a scholarship. He accepted the offer from Oklahoma State. Later, Sanders claimed that his decision to play for Oklahoma State had put him at odds with his father. Eventually, his father supported him and attended all of his games. College career, Oklahoma State. Sanders played for Oklahoma State Cowboys from 1986 to 1988 while attending Oklahoma State University and wore the number 21. He backed up Thurman Thomas at running back for the first 2 years of his career. Sanders participated in 8 games in 1986 and gained 325 running yards on 74 carries while scoring 2 rushing touchdowns. In 1987, he ran for 603 yards and 9 touchdowns on the ground, caught 4 passes for 58 receiving yards, and scored 2 touchdowns on a total of 29 special team returns. He also led the nation in yards per kickoff return. His status as a return specialist earned him a spot on the 2nd team of All-Americans. And while still a backup to Thomas, he received notable attention from his opponents. In 1988, Sanders became the first player to begin 2 straight seasons with a 100-yard kickoff, which is regarded as one of the best individual seasons in football history. He was the best rusher in the country, averaging 7.6 yards per attempt and more than 200 yards each game, including more than 300 yards in 4 of his outings. Despite having 344 attempts, he was still used as the team's punt and kickoff returner, accumulating an additional 516 yards on special terms. He set records for a season in college football. Sanders initially said that he would not participate in the NFL draft, but after pressure from his father, he changed his mind. Professional career, Detroit Lions, 1989 to 1998. The Detroit Lions drafted Sanders number 3 overall in the 1989 NFL Draft, due to Wayne Fontes' recommendation. Behind Tony Mandarich and Troy Aikman, he successfully lifted 225 pounds 21 times, leaving Fontes in awe of his athletic prowess. The Lions management had been debating picking cornerback Deion Sanders, but Fontes convinced them to select Barry Sanders. In honor of Sims, who was one of the league's best running backs in the early 1980s, Fontes offered Sanders the number 20, which had been worn by former Lions running back Billy Sims. Early years and post-season win, 1989 to 1991. In 1989, Sanders started 13 of Lions' possible 16 games as a rookie. On September 10th, against the Phoenix Cardinals, he ran for 71 yards on 9 attempts and scored a rushing touchdown. It was his first professional game. Sanders amassed 126 yards on 18 attempts and a touchdown against the Chicago Bears before suffering rib bruises and a hip pointer that kept him out for the remainder of the season. In 1990, Sanders had a successful season, ending the year with 1,304 rushing yards to lead the NFL and becoming the first Lions running back to do it since Byron White in 1940. He came in third place for both rushing attempts, yards per attempt, and rushing touchdowns. He was consequently chosen for his second Pro Bowl and once more reigned an AP First Team All-Pro. Sanders assisted the Lions in their first postseason triumph since they won the NFL Championship in 1957. In the NFC Championship game against the eventual Super Bowl champion Redskins, he was limited to just 11 attempts for 44 yards. He had 23 attempts for 113 yards and a touchdown by the time the postseason was up. After that season, he would never again win a postseason game in his career. Mid-career, 1992 to 1994. In 1992, Sanders finished with 1,352 running yards on the strength of 312 attempts and 9 touchdowns. His work ranked 4th in the league for rushing yards and 3rd for attempts. He was chosen for the Pro Bowl and received his first AP Second Team All-Pro honors. After winning the conference championship the year before, the Lions regressed from their previous campaign, finishing the year with a 5-11 record and missing the playoffs. In 1993, before departing the game due to injury against the Chicago Bears, Sanders was credited with 16 attempts for 63 yards. He tore his MCL during the game, and it was discovered that he would be out for 3 to 5 weeks. Sanders was therefore ineligible for the final 5 games of the regular season. Sanders and the Lions agreed to a 4-year, $17.2 million contract in the final year of his previous contract, making him the highest paid running back in NFL and the 3rd highest paid player overall, behind John Elway and Steve Young. Sanders was selected as the 1994 NFL Offensive Player of the Year and came in 2nd place in the NFL Most Valuable Player voting behind Steve Young. Retirement. Sanders announced his retirement from professional football on July 27, 1999, the day before Lions training camp was scheduled to begin. He faxed a letter announcing his retirement to the Wichita Eagle, the local publication in his hometown. Sanders wrote in the letter, "Shortly after the end of the last season, I felt that I probably would not return for the 1999-2000 season. I also felt that I should take as much time as possible to sort through my feelings and make sure that my feelings were backed with conviction. Today, I officially declare my departure from NFL." Sanders' sudden and contentious retirement was a topic of discussion. He had extended his deals with the Lions 2 years prior for $34.56 million over 6 years and $11 million as a signing bonus. The Lions demanded that he repay $7.37 million of the bonus. When his agents declined, the Lions complained to the NFL. Awards and honors. He received the Heisman Trophy and was unanimously recognized as an All-American. He was selected by the Lions in 1989 and had an immediate impact, winning the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year award. The 1997 NFL MVP award is given to Barry Sanders and Brett Favre respectively. He also won one of the Best Value Player awards by the NFL. Legacy. He was regarded as one of the greatest running backs in the history of the NFL, being ranked number 1 and in the top 10 by other media outlets. He was without a doubt the game's most elusive running back, and his 10-year career felt like an endless highlight reel. As Dick Vermeil, former coach of the St. Louis Rams, said, "We use that word great too lightly. Many come close to great, but not many truly are. Barry Sanders is great." Barry piled up victory after victory, record after record, and brilliantly gained yard after beautifully earned yard. Then all of a sudden, he quit playing sports forever. Personal life. Sanders is a devoted Christian. After 12 years of his marriage, he and his ex-wife Laurel Campbell Sanders, a former news anchor for WDIV in Detroit, filed for divorce in February 2012. Sanders has 4 sons, the youngest 3 are from his marriage to Campbell. After a distinguished high school career, Sanders' oldest son Barry J. Sanders played running back for Stanford University from 2012 to 2015, and Oklahoma State University in 2016. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click down below for more interesting NFL videos, and do comment about the best things you like about Barry Sanders. Thank you for watching, and we'll be waiting for your feedback.